Welcome to English Couch. I am Priya, and today I am here with my good friend Maya. Maya, how are you today?
I am good, thank you. A little nervous, but good.
Nervous? Why nervous?
Because we are speaking in English right now, and that always makes me a little nervous.
And that is exactly what we're talking about today. So many people feel this way. Maya, you know this feeling very well, right?
Yes, exactly. That is exactly me.
Tell everyone listening, what happens when you try to speak English?
So I can read English, no problem. I read articles, messages at work. I understand almost everything. And I can listen too. I watch movies in English, I follow podcasts, I understand the stories and the jokes. But then someone speaks to me. Someone asks a question in English, and my mind goes completely blank. Completely. Like nothing is there.
Yes, I know that feeling.
I know I have the words. I used them 5 minutes ago when I was reading, but when I need to speak, they are just gone. So I start translating in my head. I think in my language first, then I try to find the English words. I keep translating in my head word by word. It is so slow. The other person is waiting. I feel embarrassed, and then I feel more nervous, and the words disappear even more.
It
Becomes
cycle.
a very bad cycle. It happens at work when a colleague asks something simple, with friends when I want to say something funny, but by the time I find the words, the moment is already gone. Even ordering food at a restaurant, just asking for water, I still translate first.
You are not alone, Maya. I hear this from so many people, and I used to do exactly the same thing. When I first started speaking more English, I translated every sentence, every single one. It was so exhausting.
Yes, it feels like so much work just to say one simple thing.
Let me explain why this happens, because when you understand why, it feels less scary. Think about your first language. How did you learn it?
I just heard it. My parents spoke it, I copied them.
Exactly. You did not study grammar rules, you did not translate. You just heard words and you felt what they meant. The words were connected to real feelings, real pictures, real experiences, not to other words in a different language. But most of us learn English in a classroom. We learn grammar rules, we learn vocabulary lists, we learn by translating. So our brain builds a two-step road. Step 1, think in your language. Step 2, convert to English. And every time you want to speak, your brain takes that long, slow two-step road.
So my brain is not broken, it's just following the road it learned.
Exactly. Your brain is not broken, it's not lazy, it's just following the path you trained it to follow. We need to build a new, shorter path, a direct road from thought to English. No translation step in the middle.
Okay, that makes sense. But how do you build that path?
I have 3 simple techniques, and we're going to practice together right here, right now.
Okay, I'm ready. I think.
You are ready, I promise. Technique number 1, my favorite. Right now, wherever you are, look around you and describe what you see. In English, simple words, short sentences. Just say it, don't think about it too much. Let me show you. I am sitting on a chair. There is a table in front of me, a cup of water on the table. The room is quiet. The light is on. Short, simple, no perfect grammar needed. Just words and what you see.
Oh, that really is simple.
That's the point. Your brain does not need to translate because the words are easy and the objects are right in front of you. It starts to connect English words directly to what you see. Okay, your turn. Look around. What do you see?
Okay. I'm sitting. There's a window. The window is big. And there's a green plant near the window.
That was perfect.
Really? I was not sure about some words.
It does not matter. You spoke. You did not stop and translate. You just looked and you talked. That is the feeling we want. Remember it. And to everyone listening at home, try it right now. Pause the podcast, look around you, describe 5 things you see in English, short sentences, then press play and come back.
I want to do that every morning.
Do it every day, on the bus, in the kitchen, anywhere. Just look and describe. Your brain will slowly build that new, shorter path. Technique number 2. Narrate your day in your head in English, like a little voice commenting on everything you do. When you brush your teeth, I am brushing my teeth. The water is cold. My toothbrush is blue. When you make coffee, I am making coffee. I am adding water. The coffee smells good. Simple and ongoing, like a running commentary on your own life.
Oh, like a sports commentator, but for my breakfast?
Exactly. And when you forget a word, describe it. Keep going. Do not stop.
I tried this once. I was making coffee and I forgot the word for sugar. I just thought, the sweet white thing. And then I remembered, sugar.
That's perfect. That's exactly what you should do. When you forget a word, you describe it and you keep going. Native speakers do this too. We say things like, the thing that you use for cutting, or the small machine that makes noise in the morning. When a word is not there, we use other words around it, and we keep going. You don't need a classroom, you just need your daily life. Your coffee, your bus ride, your lunch, all of it is practice.
My life is my classroom. I like that.
Your life is your classroom. Technique number 3, the most important one. Stop waiting for the perfect sentence before you speak. Many learners think of what they want to say, build the full sentence in their head, check the grammar, check every word, and only then they speak. But by that time, the moment is usually gone.
That's exactly what I do. I have the sentence ready and the conversation already moved on.
Native speakers do not do this. We start talking and we find the words as we go. We don't have the perfect sentence before we open our mouth. We just start. And there are phrases that help you begin while your brain is still finding the right words. 3 phrases. First, how can I say this? When you're looking for the right word. Sounds natural, confident. Second, what I mean is, when you want to explain something again or in a different way. Third, let me think for a second. Simple, direct, completely normal. Say them back to me.
How can I say this? What I mean is, let me think for a second.
Good. You don't need to be perfect. You just need to start. Let's practice right now. Exercise 1. Answer right away. No preparing. What did you eat for breakfast today? Go.
I had, let me think for a second, eggs and bread and coffee, of course. Always coffee.
Perfect. No long pause, no translating. You just answered. How did that feel? Faster than usual. It felt faster because you didn't wait for the perfect sentence. You just started. Good. Exercise 2. Tell me about your bedroom. Describe it.
My bedroom is, how can I say this? It's not very big, but I like it. There's a bed, of course, a window with white curtains, a small desk near the wall, and many books. Too many books.
Too many books. And you used one of the phrases without thinking. How can I say this? You kept going. The sentences were not perfect, but I understood everything. Okay, last exercise. 30 seconds. Talk about anything without stopping. Just say it, don't think about it too much. Go.
Okay, today is a good day. The weather outside is nice, not too hot. I woke up early this morning, I made coffee, I looked out the window, and I saw a bird, a small brown bird on a tree. And I thought, how do birds not fall when they sleep? That is a very strange thing to think about in the morning. But I thought it, and then I forgot about it and drank my coffee and started my day. Maya, that was incredible. Really? I just talked about a bird.
You talked for more than 30 seconds without stopping, without translating. You asked yourself a question in English about birds sleeping. That is thinking in English. That is exactly what we are working towards. I did not even notice I was doing it. That is the best sign. When you stop noticing, that is when the new path is working. I feel lighter now, less afraid than when we started. But I want to be honest. My mind still goes completely blank sometimes, even today during this conversation. And what did you do? I took a breath, I used one of the phrases, and I started again. Exactly. My mind goes completely blank sometimes still. And that's okay. It happens to everyone. The difference is what you do next. You breathe and you start again. Making a mistake in English does not mean you're bad at English. It means you're trying, and trying means learning. Every mistake is a step forward. Every mistake is a step. I like that. And to everyone listening right now, you understand more than you think. If you're following this podcast today, that's real English. That's real progress. Speaking is the next step. Small daily practice, not big study sessions. Just your life in English. You just need to trust yourself. Yes, and be kind to yourself. When you make a mistake, don't feel embarrassed. Just try again. Every day, a little bit. Let's finish with a quick summary. 3 techniques. 1. Look around and describe what you see in English. Simple sentences, right now, wherever you are. 2. Narrate your daily life in your head in English. Your coffee, your morning, your walk to work. 3. Stop waiting for the perfect sentence. Use, how can I say this? Or let me think for a second, and just start talking. Thank you for listening to English Couch. Practice a little today. Just look around you right now and describe what you see. Simple words, short sentences. You can do this. Thank you so much, Priya. And thank you to everyone listening. Keep going. Every day, a little bit.
You're doing great. Goodbye. Goodbye. See you next time on English Couch.